Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we're going to be going through my entire investment portfolio. If this is your first time stumbling across my YouTube channel, then hi, my name is Monty and I document my investment portfolio to try and get as many people thinking about personal finance and investing as possible. So if you're someone with an interest in personal finance and investing, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button just to make sure you don't miss a future video. In the last YouTube video that I put out, which was at the beginning of February, I asked you guys if you want me to be a bit more consistent in terms of updating you with how my portfolio is doing. I asked you whether you wanted me to do these videos on a weekly basis instead of doing it on a monthly basis, and quite a few people said they want me to do it on a weekly basis. So I am going to try my very, very best to make sure that I get these videos out to you on a weekly basis. My goal is to get one video out every week, which of course means 4 portfolio update videos in a month. But at the very, very minimum, I'll do these videos on a fortnightly basis, so 2 times a month. But hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully I can get these videos out to you guys on a weekly basis. And like I said, to make sure that you don't miss out on a future portfolio update video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. So in today's video, I'm actually really excited because I am going to be introducing my Trading212 stocks and shares ISA portfolio to this investment portfolio update series. Now, there isn't a huge amount of money in this Trading212 portfolio, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I was actually going to wait until when the new ISA allowance renews on the 6th of April. But I thought, what's the point of waiting? I, of course, already have this money invested in the account, and I thought it just made sense to include it into these videos going forward. So if you're completely new to my channel, ever since October 2024, I've been documenting both my Vanguard UK and InvestEngine stocks and shares ISA and SIPP portfolios on YouTube, and I'll now be including my Trading212 portfolio into this investment portfolio update series as well. So that's 3 platforms I'll now be talking about in my videos going forward from here. I do know a lot of you already use Trading212 as your investment platform of choice, so hopefully these can be a bit more relatable and you can obviously see how my investment portfolio is doing at the same time. Anyway, I think I'm starting to waffle a bit too much. Let's just get right into the bulk of the video. Just a quick reminder, on February the 26th, my Invest in e-commerce store will be going live. Once again, right now, I'm wearing one of the t-shirts that the website will be launching with. And if you want to secure a 15% discount code on the day that the site launches, then all you've got to do is just sign up to my newsletter. And on the day that the site launches, I'll directly send you a 15% off discount code. And I'll leave the link to the newsletter in the description of this video. So just remember that date, February the 26th, you don't want to miss it. Anyway, let's get this show cracking. As always, we're going to start with Vanguard. I'm going to log into Vanguard and I'm going to show you exactly how much I have invested with Vanguard. So as it stands, at the time of recording this video, I currently have £84,248.43 in my Vanguard account. 73.59% of that money is actually in the US equity index fund. I've put in £46,181.21 into this fund. And as a result of putting that money into that fund, I've made £15,819.85 in returns, leaving me with a total current value in this fund of £62,001.06. The US economy has performed really, really well over the past 5 years. And of course, because this fund tracks the entire US economy, it makes sense as to why my portfolio, or this fund in my portfolio, has performed really, really well. So a return of £15,819.85 just from this one fund alone, I'm really happy with that. And again, just because the US economy has performed really well over the past 5 years, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue performing well over the next 5 years. Last year, for example, we saw the S&P 500 grow by about 25–26%. That is not normal. The S&P 500 doesn't always grow 26% year on year. It can't grow 26% year on year. So that's something to always take into consideration. Just because the US has done really well as of late, it doesn't mean that it's going to continue to do well. But for the time being, I'm really happy with things and I'm leaving my portfolio as is. So scrolling down slightly, the next fund in my portfolio is the FTSE Global All Cap, and I currently have 26.41% of my money allocated to this fund. I've deposited £18,522.51 into this fund, and as a result of investing that money into this fund, I've made a return of £3,723.32, which leaves me with an overall total current value in this fund of £22,245.83. If you don't know what the FTSE Global All Cap is, it's basically a fund that tracks the entire global economy. So it includes stocks from all over the world, the US, Canada, Asia, Europe, you name it. This fund literally tracks it all. I really like this fund because it's of course very diversified, and from a risk management perspective, it does make sense. Over the long term, it's very unlikely to go wrong with investing in a global index fund. And of course, over time, I'm just going to continue to increase my holdings in this fund. And last but not least, I have a whopping £1.53 sitting as cash in my Vanguard portfolio. I think this £1.53 is just from interest on cash that I've held over time. I believe with Vanguard, you can't invest amounts that are smaller than £1. So it seems that I've only just gone past that limit. So I probably should just invest that full £1.53 instead of just having it sitting there as stale cash. So yeah, that's what's in my Vanguard portfolio as of today. Now let's head over to the month tab and take a look at how my portfolio has performed over the month so far. So far in February, I'm currently at a loss of £270.90. Of course, this is made up of the market gain / loss. In this case, it's a loss. And of course, the fees that Vanguard take out. So in this month, I was charged £30.08. So my personal investment loss from this month of £270.90 comes from the market loss of this month, which like I said is £240.91, as well as the fees that were taken out this month of £30.08. So yeah, we're seeing a bit of red this week, unfortunately. But again, in January, that was an amazing month for my portfolio. I made £3,173.06. So yeah, a slight loss so far this month of £270.90. I'm not worried about at all. Okay, so that wraps up things for my Vanguard portfolio update. Just to summarize, I currently have £84,248.43 in my Vanguard portfolio. Now let's take a look at InvestEngine and see how things are doing over there. Okay, so jumping straight into things, I currently have £10,605.62 invested in my InvestEngine portfolio. I currently have a return of £1,145.62, which I believe is slightly up from my previous update. Off the top of my head, I can't quite remember, but I do think I'm slightly up from last week. Just before we take a look at the holdings in my InvestEngine portfolio, if you want to sign up to InvestEngine, then here's exactly how you can get a free welcome bonus when you sign up to the platform. I've partnered up with InvestEngine, and if you download the link via my referral, which I'll leave in the description of this video and in the comments as well, you'll get a free welcome bonus of up to £100 when you invest your first £100. I think it's a nice little incentive that InvestEngine are currently offering for new subscribers to the platform. Of course, InvestEngine is a commission-free platform on all of their DIY accounts, and InvestEngine is always the platform that I recommend beginners to join. And the reason I recommend InvestEngine, of course, aside from the fact that they charge no fees, is the fact that it's a very simple and clean app to navigate. You know, when you first start investing, it can be a bit daunting, things can be a bit hard to understand, but I think InvestEngine have really nailed it here. They've made the app really simple to understand, and of course, as a beginner, that's all you want. So like I said, if you want to sign up to the platform, then if you use my link, you'll get a free welcome bonus when you invest your first £100. And just to mention, that bonus is worth up to £100, so you could do really well with this. Anyway, so looking at my ISA allocation so far, you can see in my ISA with InvestEngine, I have £10,492.63. I still haven't made any further contributions to this stocks and shares ISA, and the reason is because I've already maxed out my annual ISA allowance, which means I've already invested £20,000 since the 6th of April 2024, so I have to wait until the new ISA allowance renews, which will be on the 6th of April 2025. So I've still got about 2 more months until I can actually start making any more deposits to this portfolio. Not too much has changed in this stocks and shares ISA since my last portfolio update. So my biggest return so far is my XNAQ ETF. This has provided me with a rate of return of 15.71%. FWRG is my second best performing fund in this portfolio, providing me with a time-weighted return of 13.84%. And then last not but least, we have VUAG, which is my S&P 500 tracking ETF, which has gave me a time-weighted return of 13.02%. Now let's take a look at how my InvestEngine SIPP has performed since my last update. So I currently have £112.99 within my InvestEngine SIPP account. In my last portfolio update, which I recorded back at the beginning of February, I did mention that I was going to add a bit more money into my InvestEngine SIPP. However, very last minute, I'm going to be going back to Dubai on Thursday. So by the time I actually put out this video, I'll probably be in Dubai. And yeah, it's gonna be another expensive month. So we'll see if I'm able to put any more money into my SIPP. A big part of me is saying, no, don't, just enjoy your holiday and let that be that. But who knows, I might just add a tiny bit. We're gonna be talking maybe not even £100, but we'll see how that goes. I've already invested quite a bit over the last 365 days, so I'm not too worried about not making any contributions this month. But like I said, we'll just see how things go. And if I do put money in, good. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, that wraps up my InvestEngine portfolio update. So just to summarize, I have £10,605.62 currently invested with InvestEngine. And like I said, this money is split across my SIPP and Stocks and Shares ISA. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for the very first time, let's head over to my Trading212 account and let's see what my portfolio is looking like over there. Okay, so welcome to my Trading212 portfolio. As you can see, I have a whopping £114.36 in my Trading212 Stocks and Shares ISA account. So you're probably thinking, Monty, why on earth did you create a separate Trading212 portfolio? And the only real reason really is because I want to create content that is relatable to you guys. I certainly wouldn't recommend the average person to start using multiple investing platforms. I always like to think that it's better to keep everything consolidated under one roof. However, as someone who's a finance creator like myself, I think it's really important to have multiple platforms so that I can use all of those platforms and then of course give my recommendations based on your feature preferences, what would be the best platform for you. So yeah, that's the only real reason why I've decided to set up this Trading212 portfolio, just so that I can create content that's more relatable to my audience. So yeah, I just bunged in £100. This was on the 23rd of August 2024. And as you can see, since August, it's made me £14.36, leaving me a rate of return of 14.3%. Now, of course, a return of £14.36 might not sound like a lot, especially over a 6-month period. But again, I've only put in £100 into this portfolio, so I'm not expecting it to grow by hundreds of pounds over months. So scrolling down to the allocations in this portfolio, again, I'm investing in exactly what I invest in my InvestEngine portfolio. So I always like to say that the simplest strategy is often the best strategy. And for that reason, I like to keep things as simple as possible and not overcomplicate things that don't necessarily need to be overcomplicated. You can see that my X-Trackers NASDAQ 100 fund has performed the best out of these 3 funds. So this has gave me a time-weighted return of 16.97%. Then my second best performing fund is my Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. This has provided me with a rate of return of 14.06%. And then last but not least, we have FWRG, which is Invesco's FTSE All World Fund. And that has provided me with a time-weighted return of 12.06%. So yeah, all 3 funds have performed really well over the past 6 months, if I'm honest. When the ISA allowance renews in April, at the beginning of April, I'm still undecided as to which platform of choice I'm going to be using for the 2025 to 2026 UK tax year. It will either be between InvestEngine and Trading212. Both of these platforms, of course, are commission-free investing platforms, but I'm just undecided between the 2 as to which one I want to use for the new UK tax year. I'm slightly more inclined to use Trading212 just so that I can build the portfolio up a bit more. Of course, with InvestEngine, I managed to grow it to about a £10,000 portfolio in about 4 months. So it'll be interesting to see how long it will take to build a £10,000 portfolio with Trading212. But again, I've still got about 2 months or so until the tax year renews, so I've still got quite a lot of time to decide. So to wrap up this video, let's add my total balance across all of these different investing platforms and let's see how much I have. So with Vanguard, which is the biggest account in my portfolio, I have £84,248.43 invested. Adding that to my InvestEngine portfolio, which is my second biggest account, I have £10,605.62 invested. And then last but not least, adding that to my Trading212 portfolio, I have £114.36, which leaves me with an overall total portfolio balance of £94,968.41. I'm really happy with how things are going so far across all my portfolios. Again, I say this in absolutely every video I create, but we're slowly getting closer to the £100,000 mark. So if you want to stay updated and you want to see more videos like the ones I've put out today, make sure you give my channel a subscribe. But that's me done for this week, folks. If you've enjoyed the video, please drop a like. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions about my portfolio or about this video or anything in general, just drop a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Anyway, I'll catch you guys back here soon. And for the meantime, take care of yourself.